Hello everybody. Welcome, it's Jade and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we have a fun one for you guys. We have a challenge. I've started a challenge series going up today, Thursday, the 7th of October. Alright, and so what that will be is me and my friend Mindy will be doing a challenge each and every week of October, and it kicks off with my goal, and this challenge is called What You Create, and it's essentially what we create, right? And we'll get a word per week and we will be creating with that word, and today's word is pop. All right, and so we are going to be creating stuff, so you can go ahead and check her video out. The link will be in the description below, and see how she interprets the word pop. It's going to be so much fun. I cannot wait to see what she creates. Her channel is called Mindy Hunt, which is her name. All right, and I will be using the printable from my shop called In the Season. All right, this is what I will be using today. I'm going to put that to the side, and I'm going to open up to our page. Voila. This is what we are going to be creating today. It is my interpretation of pop, and I hope you understand it. I'm going to show you a little bit about it, and then we're going to get to making this. It's a long one, you know, so do bear with me. So just so you see the entire page, and then here goes our pop. Maybe not best angle, but do you see that? There is a slight pop, see? And then there's a pop. All right, I know some persons call a pop soda, but I lived in the UK for a bit and we call it pop, fizzy pop. So that's what came to mind. And there was this blue bubble gum. Oh my gosh, listen, all my childhood, besides grape, I used to love blue bubble gum, and so this is me trying to recreate that. And we have some little bubbles inside, which is the fizzy, and the glitter that kind of helps give you the bubbly effect. Well, that's my interpretation. I hope you guys get it. All right guys, let's get into this video. I'm gonna put this to the side. And so I went ahead and I pre-marked and cut out some pages. Let me show you what we're going to be doing. This is the idea. I'm sorry if you hear children in the background making a whole lot of noise. My niece, my nephew, and my son. And they will not quiet down, so we have no option. We're just going to do what we have to do. Alright, so this is the idea. Right, so this is what it will look like, hopefully, when we do it all way better. I guess I accidentally had glue down the wrong bit, right? So this is what it should look like. This is a first attempt and me trying to figure out a pop bottle. And here's the bottle around here. But I decided I'm not going to use this one anymore. So I put this one to the side. So this is my first attempt. The second one, of course, I didn't bother to make the mechanism. I just went ahead and draw the pop bottle on a piece of paper. As you can see, it's not all the way straight, but we don't mind that. We're not here looking for perfection. Okay, we're imperfectly perfect, and that's fine. And so this is one that I was trying to do. So this is, it's sturdy, much sturdier now, on cardstock. And I went ahead and cut out the bottle, but as you see, it's still, what I did after I cut this one out, was to trace it onto paper, and it's kind of crooked, you know, and so I will figure something out to do with this at a later date, but for right now we're gonna do one from scratch. Okay, so this is what it would look like, and here's my pop bottle. And what I went ahead and done was just kind of cut off the extra looking things so that it's a little more uniform. It's not perfect, but we're not striving for perfection. All right, and so what you're going to need is 2 sheets of cardstock. 2 sheets of cardstock that is cut to the dimensions 6 1/4 inch So what you're going to need is 2 cardstock cut down, which would measure 6 1/2 inch by 4 inches. So 6 1/2 inch wide, 6 1/4 inch wide, sorry, it's correct right there. 6 1/4 inch wide and 4 inches high, and you need 2 of those. And you're going to go ahead and score at the 1/2 inch mark and the 1 inch mark on both sides for all 2 of these. So I'm going to go ahead now and score. You know my scoring mechanism already. Stated before, I'm scoring my cards at 1/2 inch and 1 inch. Then I'm going to burnish it down to make sure all the edges are nice and sharp for both of the cards. While I do this, I'm going to go ahead and read our scripture for today, which is Psalm 119 verses 73 to 74. And I'm reading from the ESV, and it says, "Your hands have made and fashioned me. Give me understanding that I may learn your commandments. Those who fear you shall see me and rejoice, because I have hoped in your word." And the NLT, which is the translation of the Inspired Bibles, reads, "You have made me and created me." So we have a back, and we have a front. See, it's coming along. "Make all who fear you right nicely. Finding me is cause for joy. When I take my template, put my hope in your word." And that is my makeshift thingamajigger. What the word says. Next, I'm just going to be taking out all my instruments. So I'm taking out my X-Acto knife and a pencil. And I'm going to get a pencil. I'm going to trace this, but I think what I might do just to lay it flat
and I'm going to
and mark the center so it's a little easier for me to have it even.
Find the center, and I'm just going to draw a line down the center, and then I'm going to lay my bottle onto it so that when I'm adjusting, that I will always be straight, because my template is a bit larger than my card. Originally, the dimensions for my card was 5 inches, and so the bottle is a bit larger because I decided to go along and make it 4 inches and make it smaller. Okay, but it will all work out in the end, because I'm gonna scoot the bottle, lift the washi tape and scoot the bottle down some, and then just finish the drawing. And then I'm gonna rub out my lines and use my X-Acto knife to cut out the bottle. And then I'm gonna have that negative space, and I'm gonna put the bottle to the side. going to take strips of white cardstock and I'm going to cut it down and put it at the top, bottom, and both sides of my card. Just because I cut that bottle out, the card has lost some of its integrity and it's not as sturdy, and I want it to be sturdy, so that's what I'm going to do. And just use the scraps that I have lying around that I get when I cut off stuff. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to trim down the edges just so that everything is nice and straight. Let us dry. I'm gonna put some aloe gel in here, similar to what I did with the tear in the bottle. I don't know if I'm gonna do the food coloring because I keep putting too much. We are gonna see. Let us see how it works. Let me put this back here so we don't create a mess. Alright, so sorry about the glare. So here's my little pouch, and in here I have the leftovers because we didn't throw those out, because why would we do that? Alright, from our overly colored thing, so I can just put a tip of that in there, and this is the second one, and I went ahead and glue it, so we can put that in here as well. I don't want to tear the back, but I don't want to get the top messy as well. I'm tearing the back. So I'm just filling the bottle, as I stated before, with a bit of aloe gel, and I'm just working it around and mixing it so it incorporates the blue sequin mixture with the fresh aloe gel, just so that everything is well blended. Then I'm just going to stick down the cellophane with, there's a sticky adhesive strip, but that's not going to do the job, and so I'm just using some more tape to just seal everything all the way down. I still don't have any double-sided tape, so that's why I'm doing that. If you have double-sided tape, you can go ahead and use that. Now I'm just going to be scoring the bag just so it's a little easier for me to fold, because I'm going to fold it over the top of my card just so I have no spillage. because you know when you close the book it might smush it, and I don't want it to come out the corners, so I have to make sure that I protect my Bible. And then I'm just going to tape down the side so it doesn't move on the left and on the right. The bottom part is perfectly fine. And then I'm just trimming down some of the little extra that is still sticking off. And then I'm going to cover the front. I'm going to mat it with a pattern paper, and this pattern paper is from my Well Seasoned Extra pattern paper that is in my shop. You can go ahead and pick that up if you would like to. All right, and so I'm just going to be gluing that down. Then I'm going to go ahead and cut down a small strip so I can label my bottle, and I'm going to name it Popping with Joy. And you'll see that I'm just telling you what is to come. And I thought that just came out so cute. And then I'm gonna glue up my sides and have everything dried and ready for our next step. Alright, so after I do that, on the back where I have the overhanging of the tape and the cellophane bag, I'm just going to put another piece of cardstock over that, and I'm going to use that as my journaling spot. So it's a hidden journaling spot, and that's right up my alley, okay? And so I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to get a coin envelope, and I'm going to glue down both the sides, and I'm going to slit right up the top, just cut off the little edge, and then I'm going to cut down maybe a 1/4 inch, and then I'm going to fold those on the inside just to give the top of my envelope some stability. And then I'm just going to be tearing some paper and arranging it over the front. And then I went ahead and I cut down the side just because I had too much wiggle room wiggle room in my envelope, and I didn't want my card to fall out. So I went ahead and cut that down, and I just folded it onto itself and glued it down. After which, like I said, I'm decorating and tearing up paper, a bit of vellum, and I'm putting it on. Now I'm just trying to find the front, what I want on the front. So I'm finding some pumpkin. Well, I mean, the pumpkins weren't lost. This is a printable that is in my shop, and it's called In This Season. And so I'm just trying to find what looks best for the space. And of course, I found that. And then I'm going to stick that down on the front of the envelope. And then I'm just going to be tearing some more paper and putting it around the page so that the envelope doesn't look out of place and it looks like it's meant to be a part of the page. All right, and then I'm going to journal. I don't think I showed me journaling. That's not important. I didn't think I showed myself journaling though. And that should be about it. I'm going to add a few art marks and we're going to call this one good. If you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you like the content and you're new, do consider subscribing. I want to welcome all the new subscribers. Thank you for joining the family. And also, if you have not registered for the Saved by Grace conference, go ahead and do so. You have a week left. At this point, you have 1 week left. So go ahead and register. It is free. The link is in the description down below. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter. As we saw a few days ago, when all social media went down, we didn't have any way to correspond. And if you're signed up for the newsletter, you will always be in the know, okay? Whether the social stopped working, we still have the newsletter so we can correspond and talk to each other, all right? Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you stick around with me, if you stuck it out to the end with me, go ahead and put in the description newsletter. Yes, newsletter. So I know that you stuck around with me all the way to the end. Do have yourself a blessed day. And don't forget to go over to Mindy's YouTube page. Links are in the description. If you want to join in on this challenge, please do so. I want to see what you create. Remember, the challenge for this week is pop. And I would love to see your interpretation. If you went ahead and joined in on the challenge, even if you didn't make a video and you created something, go ahead and tag me on Instagram or on Facebook at Etched by Faith. I do want to see your creations. Do have yourself a wonderful day and enjoy the rest of the video. And tell me if you think, I nailed the pop challenge.